one that deals with the debt issue in the States and how it might be dealt with in the future. And is inflation one of the main parameters through which a lot of these people like Mr. Bernanke would hope to address that question?
I mean, I think, and that is the question of the day. And will you have inflation or deflation? And I think one of the concerns is that the amount of monetary stimulus the U.S. has put in the market, and they've increased the money base, that eventually that's going to lead to inflation. I would also make the point that, you know, inflation, if you have higher inflation and you keep interest rates really low, what that does is it takes money away from savers and it gives it to borrowers. And if you have a consumer or a government that has borrowed too much money and they need to deleverage, that's a perfect way to solve that problem. So I think a little inflation is something that they want. The last thing the U.S. Federal Reserve and the U.S. government wants is deflation. They'll do whatever they have to do to avoid it. And a little inflation isn't a bad thing. The concern would be is if they lose control of inflation and it starts to accelerate. And again, with the unemployment rate where it is at and wage growth where it's at, that's not a concern, but it is definitely something you have to keep your eye on. So I would be concerned about it because I think they absolutely would risk a little inflation.